I've been making music for over 10 years now, but this is the first time I tried interactive VSTs that create unique sounds in real time. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 AI VST plugins for music production and sound design that you will not believe exist. And you're going to want to stick around to the end if you're interested in getting one of these plugins for free. Let's dive in. So the first tool is SynPlant by Sonic Charge. While the interface is relatively simple and easy to understand, it's a very powerful tool that goes far beyond traditional knob twisting and dial adjusting. They have their own AI technology going on with Patch, which allows you to drag and drop any audio recording or sample into the synthesizer. And there's also the new phenotype feature, which I think is like a script that you can download for free, and it turns text into real synth patches instead of audio samples. So you can pretty much just type in make me a bass or something like that rather than uploading a bass sample into it. It uses neural networks to automatically analyze and then recreate the sound as a playable instrument that can evolve into different sounds as you mess around with the plugin. It's a very powerful tool, and their interface has a pretty interesting theme around genetics to illustrate how you're kind of evolving or changing the sound in real time. Pretty smart. To get involved in the roleplay, you can modify your sound's underlying genetic code by using the DNA editor to tweak your source sound and make it your own. So you got everything you need here, from envelopes to oscillator types and filters, plus some nice visual representations to keep you feeling like a mad scientist. And I'm all in for it. But let's actually hear how it works and what you're able to create. First thing you'll do is load a sample and then click here to let AI do its thing and generate patches. And let's try turning it into the core element of an electronic composition. You can tweak the sample sound as you want by changing the DNA parameters and prepare it for your composition using the extra features in the main interface. Then each branch here plays a different variation of the sound, and you can trigger them with different notes and velocities using a MIDI controller. You can also layer several branches to play at the same time, turning it into a polyphonic synth, and this is what I ended up with after experimenting with the plugin. Now bring in some other elements to your project, and this is how you turn your unique sound into a composition. Next we have Graphiti by Timbre Audio. What stands out right away in this plugin is the surprisingly odd canvas we have at the center. As you'll understand later on, that's the core of this tool, and it's exactly what makes it so interesting and unique when compared to any other VST out there. So Graphiti is a granular sampler and synthesizer for creating new instruments, textures and foley, but makes it great for a wide range of applications. From music production and film scoring to game audio and sound design, there's really nothing you can do here because it all comes down to the samples you load into it. It uses machine learning and AI to analyze and organize your samples, and then they get grouped into clusters of grains in your canvas, creating a sonic space you can explore and interact with by drawing paths to produce unique mashups of your sound library. This is a completely new way to create and explore audio, and it's also honestly the most exciting and funny plugin I currently own. Allowing you to interact with it by drawing is just genius, and hearing the crazy stuff you can come up with in real time makes a minute feel like a second. You can change where the sounds land in your canvas by changing these analysis parameters, and this will allow you to make different combinations as you draw paths in the canvas. So you could group them by pitch, or you could group them by loudness, and then it just becomes easier to make the connections and to translate from one region to another. You also have control over the granular synthesis, like grain separation, size and pitch, plus some drawable graphs to change how the sound behaves over time. So while there isn't as much detailed control over individual parameters, the magic here is all about how you blend sounds together by interacting with the canvas, which might feel similar to the plugin I'm about to show you next. But the options here are endless, and from basic parameters to more advanced stuff, you've got it all here. So let me show you how you can interact with it to get to pretty cool stuff. First, let's cover how it can be used on an instrument sample to explore different textures. I'm going to be using a violin, and all you need to do is load a few samples, then hit Graphiti. Once the plugin finishes its analysis, all samples will land in your canvas based on the parameters you've selected down here. And the funny part is that drawing curves will play unique mashups in real time. Just listen to how the properties change as I draw paths in the canvas. Then you can also use your MIDI keyboard to play different notes and record your melodies. Plus, you can also save path patterns as a playlist, so you can explore a few different stuff without losing anything you might have liked. For Foley, the process is almost the same, as in you load samples for the sounds you're trying to create, but then it's even more about experimenting in the canvas and less about using your keyboard. To show you what I mean, I've uploaded a few robotic samples here and listen to how the sound changes as I draw in different regions. So that's like the perfect thing for a Transformers movie or anything that's like sci-fi or futuristic. And lastly, this is how you turn exploration into a musical masterpiece using samples from Moog, the infamous analog synth. Our last VST is Concatenator by Datamind Audio. This is an audio plugin that instantly turns your sample library into a playable instrument that gets triggered by real-time input. Whether that's your voice through a mic or an instrument, it will use proprietary machine learning techniques to try to recreate that input signal using the samples that you've loaded into it. It detects pitch, which is very cool, but there are a few limitations to it, which I will get to in a second. The interface is also pretty simple and clean, with only a few essential parameters available to you, what makes it easy to use but very powerful for specific applications. Just like Graphiti, this one is also all about experimentation, and choosing the right samples is what will get you to the right sounds. So for example, here I've loaded some metallic sounds into the plugin, and I've got a beatbox recording playing through the Ableton track where the Concatenator is. Then as I play the track and increase the mix knob from 0 to 100%, you'll hear how the plugin starts changing the sounds, blending in the metallic properties from the samples into the input signal. And all of this while preserving its pitch, rhythm, and the overall identity of the audio. That's pretty cool, and it almost feels like you're in character selection, just changing the appearance of your sound while preserving the traits that make it unique. Very interesting. But I would say this one is better suited for sound design and Foley rather than music production and similar applications, because again, I can see some limitations, at least when compared to Iridia, our previous plugin. For example, the analysis is fixed and there's no real-time interaction between the user and the interface, so you're kind of just stuck to whatever the plugin gets you. And it's also not like you can make changes to the source file like what happens in SynPlant, the first plugin we covered in this video with the DNA editor. It has its perks for sound design, and it's a very powerful tool because you can literally just record some crazy stuff directly into it using a mic to create any sound that you might need in your projects. But you'll need to make sure you're uploading the right samples into the plugin and that you're also sourcing the right inputs, because you'll be stuck with it. So overall, all three plugins offer a new way to interact with audio, and they're all very powerful tools, each with different features, pros and cons. So if you're into sound design and Foley, Concatenator might be the most flexible tool for you, while SynPlant shines at creating new sounds and breaking the preset fatigue, but could be cool for music production. Graphiti, however, almost feels like the sweet spot between both plugins, because while it's great for Foley and sound design applications, it's also great for music productions and experimental compositions, providing both the flexibility of drawing in your canvas to create unique combinations of your sounds, while also providing you traditional synth parameters you can tweak to make your sounds more interesting. But regardless, all of these plugins are interacting with your sound in real time and creating unique sounds every time through unique workflows. And that's something that doesn't usually happen when you're just using presets on traditional synths. So for you that are still watching this video and are interested in getting one of these plugins for free, we will be giving away one free copy of the Graphiti plugin to a random comment in this video. All you need to do is drop us a comment in this video and you will get the chance to keep it forever at no additional costs. AI in music production is already starting to prove that it's not all about generative AI and replacing creativity, but also about incentivizing exploration and interaction between the user and the plugins in real time, creating an entirely new workflow. Those were the 3 AI VST plugins I wanted to cover today, but there are a lot more out there you are yet to discover. So if you like this video and would want us to make another one of these showing you a few more plugins, let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to leave your like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. You'll also find a link for every plugin we covered in this video down in the comments, and there's a free demo available for all of them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.